Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're decoding the invisible system running behind your screens, and honestly, we're going to fundamentally change how you view your own focus. We are diving into a crash course on the dopamine economy. We'll show you exactly how your attention gets engineered and why it feels so incredibly hard to just look away.
Seriously, where did those 20 minutes go? We've all been there, right? You open an app for just a split second to check one tiny thing, and suddenly, poof, 20 minutes gone. It's a totally universal experience. But here's the crazy part. The weird thing isn't that our attention naturally drifts, it's that so many things seem to deliberately and purposefully pull it away. And that brings us to the absolute core idea of this explainer. Attention is not random. It is constantly being competed for. If you take away anything today, let it be this. Those lost 20 minutes, they aren't a sign of personal weakness. No way. You're just navigating a highly engineered system that is constantly bidding for your focus. Think of it like walking through a loud, chaotic market. Every notification, every little red badge is a vendor screaming at you to look their way. Once you start seeing this pattern, your entire perspective totally shifts.
Okay, let's get into section 1, the mechanism, what dopamine actually does. To really get the engineering behind all this, we got to clear up a massive misconception about brain chemistry. Most of us think of dopamine as the chemical on the left here, the chemical of pleasure, the feeling of actually eating the cake. But actually, scratch that, that's way too small of an idea. Dopamine actually belongs over on the right. It's the chemical of pursuit and anticipation. It's what helps your mind decide what to pay attention to next. It's not about enjoying the reward, it's about that intense motivation and drive pointing you toward the reward way before it even arrives.
Just think about how dopamine operates in everyday life. Take the samosa tray. You hear them sizzling in the kitchen and your mouth waters before you even see the food. That leaning forward feeling? That's dopamine at work. Or think about a vending machine. A kid tugs at the knob, a snack falls out unpredictably, and boom, they keep trying. Small, unpredictable rewards literally train the brain to keep checking. And finally, think of a highlighter pen. Dopamine acts as your brain's internal highlighter, marking certain signals, like a flashing red dot on your phone, as irresistibly important. It makes them jump right off the page, demanding your attention right now.
So, let's see how this builds into a real behavioral loop. Step 1 is the cue. Your phone buzzes. Step 2 is anticipation. Your brain predicts something juicy might be there and your dopamine spikes. Step 3 is the action. You open the app. And step 4 is the outcome, seeing what that notification actually was. And here's the kicker. Once your brain learns that this loop pays off, even occasionally, it starts leaning into it faster and faster every single time.
Which brings us to section 2, the engineering, shaping your attention.
So, how do modern products deliberately exploit this loop? Well, think of your attention like a zooming camera lens. It's constantly readjusting, looking for what's new, what's unfinished, and what might matter next. Apps actually manage that lens using 3 specific design levers. First, novelty, which makes things feel fresh. Second, uncertainty, leaving the outcome unknown. And third, interruption, which deliberately breaks your current focus. When you combine these, they create a massive prediction gap in your brain. And remember, dopamine absolutely loves prediction gaps. It literally begs your brain to close them.
Notice how this design logic plays out there in the real world. Think about a video thumbnail, a teaser clip, or a text that just says, "Wait until you see this." By offering only partial information, the system sparks your interest. It hides just enough to create tension and practically forces you to click just to resolve that tension. You might feel like you made a free choice, but the system perfectly shaped the architecture of that choice to keep you endlessly curious. Let's move to section 3, the cost, the price of switching. All of this engineering, it comes with a hidden tax. The real danger here isn't just getting distracted. The real danger is fragmentation. Imagine a shattered puzzle. Every single time your attention shifts to a new notification or a new feed, your brain pays a heavy cognitive cost. It has to completely stop one pattern, load up another one, and entirely reorient itself. When you're pushed into these exhausting cycles of start, stop, start, your brain basically never fully settles into the deep focus required for its best work. All right, section 4, the empowerment, thinking like a designer.
So how do we actually fight back against this? We do it by totally changing our mindset. The ultimate shift is this. You've got to stop blaming your own willpower. When you look at a screen, stop looking at what it shows and start diagnosing what it is actually asking your brain to do.
Because when you understand the terrain, that magnetic pull becomes legible, and suddenly it's a whole lot less magical.
To do this, you can start asking yourself a few simple diagnostic questions. The next time you feel inexplicably pulled to open an app, just stop and ask, is this creating novelty? Like, is it just throwing something shiny and new at my brain to force a sudden dopamine spike? Next, ask yourself, is this leaving uncertainty open? Notice if a headline or an app notification is deliberately withholding that one crucial piece of information just to force you into a click to close that prediction gap.
And third, is this interrupting a current task? Try to recognize when an alert is deliberately breaking your momentum. Ask yourself, is this genuinely urgent, or is it just hijacking my focus because the system wants my attention right now?
Ultimately, the absolute core takeaway here is this. You now understand attention as a designed environment, not a personal mystery. Understanding this machinery turns that overwhelming feeling of helplessness into steady, clear-eyed judgment. You don't have to fight every single pull with pure willpower anymore, because you can now clearly see the shape of the pull itself. So now that you can see the system, what changes about the way you move through it? The next time you pick up your phone, I challenge you to use this new superpower. Look past the content, see the engineering, and take your attention back. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning what's in front of you.